Yeah. Howdy. I'm Maddie. Welcome back. Sims Boom. Had a brief little scare. Because I went to launch the game and it immediately crashed, and then the EA launcher, the play button was grayed out still. But closing it through Task Manager fixed that problem. So, all is well. Nothing bad happened. Yeah. Here we are. Oh, also, I did go ahead and grab, because it's free right now. Yeah. I grabbed this, because it's free currently. And, this couch is a pretty, spitting image for like two of the couches in my childhood home. Color-wise, this one is pretty perfect for one of the couches in the secondary living rooms, either the secondary or tertiary. I don't remember which one. Color, like shape-wise, the couch is also perfect for the main living room couch, but none of these colors really match that one. The main living room couch was like a dark brown. Closest we have is this light brown. So, I don't know. I might use it. I don't know. I'll try it out. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what this cost normally. Like, in terms of how much moolah it costs normally, if it costs moolah normally. I assume it normally costs moolah, which is the in-game currency that you can buy with real money. Because that's how most stuff in the marketplace works. And it's just like free temporarily, I think. But yeah, when I upload the house to the gallery, this will be a requirement, though, which is kind of unfortunate. Because it means that when it's not free, I'd have to spend some moolah for it. I don't know how much, or if you even do. I don't know how these free items work, if they're just temporary or what. I don't know. But it looks too close to couches that were in the house, so I can't ignore it. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get in. Over Newcrest and the house. Yeah. Yes, so let's hop into the build thingamajig. Yeah. So I wonder if there's a way to put this onto a smaller lot than the one that we started working on. Because I started working on the largest lot in the game, at least in the base game. Because Newcrest is part of the base game, pretty sure. And I don't have that many expansion packs. The ones that I do have don't have any lots bigger than this one. Or any of the same sizes. There's no lots in any of the towns that I have currently that are the same size as this one. It is the biggest one. And I did that to give myself lots of room and space because I wasn't sure how big the house would be. And I honestly thought it would be bigger. But, yeah, we're definitely going to have some room to spare. And so I wonder if I'll be able to move this onto a smaller lot in the end. But I don't know. We'll see. For now, though. Alright. Now then. Getting back into it. Yeah, the lighting is still broken in here because we haven't finished the roof. But that's what we're going to do today. So... Alright, so thinking about the couches. Okay. Actually. Yeah, so that there. What are they? Why did I go with this color? This color's so much closer. There you go, man. Alright. Yeah, so I still... One of these couches was like... I think this couch... I'm conflicted again. On which of these couches was where. I will tell you, I have come to terms with the width of this room. I think it's still a little bit wider than it should be. But I have either remembered or gaslit myself into thinking I remember that the room is, like, all the furniture was sort of off-centered like this. In reality, although, yeah. So, yeah, that's correct. Yeah, this couch... I was thinking, so I don't know if this couch was here or there, but whichever one it was, this one I was thinking of replacing it with. But honestly, thinking about it now, actually, oh, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe not. I'll be honest. I kind of forgot what the couch that I did end up using looked like. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, that's a spitting image. But actually looking at this, no, this is actually closer than this. So I don't think I will be using this after all for this room. Because this couch had like that fabric that goes down to the ground. Howdy, Bathtub. Welcome in. And this couch also had the fabric that goes down to the ground. So while I would like to get the pillows on this couch, because the color of this one is more accurate and the fabric going down to the ground is more accurate, even though I do think the shape of this one is more accurate to this couch than the shape of this one, other factors, I think, are enough to where we're not going to use this. Hi, dear. Howdy. Welcome in. Alright. So I guess we're not changing the couches unless I decide that this couch actually was in this room and this couch was actually in this room. Which I still don't know. Trying to think. Yeah. No. I have it backwards currently. That couch was in that room. This couch was in that room. Final answer. Because that makes more sense, like, matching the styles between these two. Because the chairs in this room were definitely of this style. Like, the wood bordering around the top that's all fancy. And this couch with the wood bordering around the top that's all fancy. Makes sense that it would be in the same room and not in a different room. So, and... yeah. I think that's more accurate. Okay. Mm-hmm. Alright. But yeah. So, just recapping where we are. Tour of the grounds so far. Main entranceway comes in here. We have the secondary and tertiary living rooms flanking either side of the main entrance. Going just past the main entrance, we have right here, we have the office. So we have some family photos on here, a big family photo right here. There used to be a photo of my parents' wedding here, but they moved that somewhere else and replaced it with a family photo with all of us kids in it. We have the office in here with 3 computers. We have my dad's computer, my little sister's computer, and a spare old computer that was not in active use at the time. There was a framed Titanic movie poster on the wall. I'm trying to, like, recount tidbits that I would have said during the first stream as well, because some of the first stream did get muted. So I don't know what trivia has been lost because of the muting, if any. Because the music that plays during build mode is copyrighted, and you can't play it on stream. And I didn't know that. I played the whole stream with the music on. Yeah. This painting was stuff like a park landscape, people in it. My mom had painted that. In here, oh, that painting is missing. I didn't replace it, or I moved the wall and that deleted it. I need to put that painting back. Yeah, there's another painting of like a park landscape-ish thing here, painted by my mom, and there was a third painting that my mom had made here, and was of a woman in a, I think, Victorian dress. So let's go ahead and replace that painting. I swear I put a painting there to represent that. But I must have done something with the wall or the room layout or something that resulted in that painting being deleted. So let's go ahead, put this in because it's closest. What's the scale buttons again? There we go. Is that too big? Nah, it's a little bit. It was a little bit smaller than that. Like the edge of the painting here is where the edge of the frame would be, I think, for it to be scaled 100% accurately. But that's pretty close, so we'll do that. Yeah. Moving further into the living room here, we have a TV. This would have been built into the wall, but we can't do that. So we've just brought the wall out. I think it was like a full cabinet stand around this with like shelves flanking either side of the TV as well. We kept various things in those cabinets over the years. DVDs and stuff originally went in those. Games, board games, like yeah, we kept board games and stuff in those cabinets mostly. There was the DVDs at some point were in there, but they got moved. But the board games and like other like games you can like play with a family are like physical. We have Monopoly, Jenga, puzzles, stuff like that. We kept those in the cabinets either side of the TV. This chest had like heavy blankets in it, so if you wanted to like snuggle up on the couch and throw a blanket over yourself, you'd pull it out of the chest, throw the blanket on you. This table was rectangular, but otherwise it is pretty spitting image of this wooden glass with like a wood directly underneath the glass, so pretty spot on there. We had the family cat Win, had his fort here. This bowl for the cat should be right here, but it's there because the game won't let me put it close to this frame. We have a dining table. We used to have a second dining table, but we got rid of it at some point. That dining table used to be in here. This room started out as a living room, then it became a dining room, and then it went back to being a living room. Yeah. Kitchen in here. You have the cat's other bowl, so you keep the food and water separate. Cats prefer it that way. Dishwasher. This is like a shuttered area of the cabinet. We have the fridge. There was a built-in microwave unit here, elevated up above the counter, but it was destroyed or ruined because I accidentally cooked mac and cheese with no water in it, and since then, no matter what we did, anything cooked in there smelled terrible. So we bought a second red microwave that just put on the countertop. We have separate stoves and ovens. So this was the oven. There were no stovetops on top of it. And over here was the stovetop with no oven underneath it. It was just more cabinets. We have the pantry here, which has shelves going along both of these walls. Laundry room, which has the cat's litter box. And these would have been the laundry machine and dryer. So coat racks and stuff going out. This is the garage. We had a second fridge out here, which I don't think I addressed the second fridge. I think I just put it down and I never mentioned it. But yeah, we had the main fridge, which had like which was like food and stuff, and then we had the second fridge, which had mostly like drinks and stuff. Yeah, so soda, beer, juice, those sorts of things. So we'd keep some drinks in here, of course, but like bulk storage, we'd have more in here. And there were some food items in here as well. Yeah, lots of storage and stuff along here, just like piles and piles of stuff around here, like tools, bikes, various sorts of things. I'm just representing with these shelves to take up the space. My dad's car, my mom's car. My mom had an SUV. Dad had a Stan. There were shelves along the tops here that were quite big, and they were like metal grate shelves. We kept a bunch of stuff piled up on top of there. We don't really have shelves big enough to represent those, so just those little wooden ones temporarily. Yeah, garden supplies, pool cleaning equipment was hung up on here as well. Yeah. Going. Yeah. There was a tiny little desk in this narrow hallway here, with a chair tucked in under it, but we can't tuck a chair in this game, so we're just leaving the chair removed so that Sims would still walk past here. This desk wasn't really used for anything. I think it was... My mom used to use it at some point, but At no point that I can remember did I ever see her use it. Just know that she had stuff at this desk, and she used it at some point. Here we have the half bath, so called because it's the only bathroom in the house that does not have a shower or bathtub. Magazines in there. I had a watercolor painting the Eiffel Tower that I made as a kid on the wall in there as well. Speaking of me, this was my bedroom here. So we have these posters. We have this painting that I pirated because there's a print on canvas that I saw at a resale store, but it had already been sold. A high school friend of mine found it online for sale, but it was sold out and discontinued. But the website had a super high resolution, straight on photo of the print on canvas with no watermark. So I was able to just rip that file and get it printed from a different seller. Yeah. A Minecraft poster, had a penguin poster from... I won that penguin poster in a raffle at a Scholastic book fair during my elementary school years. Yeah. I liked penguins growing up. They were my favorite animal. So I also had a lot of penguin plushies and stuff, which would have been on these shelves. To represent the penguins, I have just this one. This was my Legos bin. And these shelves would have had my Bionicles on display. So we have this little robot dude to represent that. A wooden model ship that my grandfather on my mom's side had made. And that stayed up here on top of this shelf. But actually, no, thinking about it, I think at one point it was up here. And at another point, it was on my desk down here. I don't remember which came first, but I can't put it on top of the shelf in-game, so I just have it on here. It was on my desk at some point in history. Don't remember when it's... Yeah. I had a big desk, so to represent that huge desk, which doubled as my dresser, I have pushed these two right up against each other. My computer would have been centered here, of course. Yeah. And that was an iMac computer. I also had a laptop, but you can't place laptops anywhere except on a desk, so I can't have that somewhere else, unless I wanted to do a second desk in this room. Closet, which I didn't really use. That was just like a bunch of other storage stuff. We had a fireproof locker with like legal documents and stuff in that closet. My bathroom, which has a shower that started with just a like friction clamp on curtain rod, but that fell on my head one day, and so my parents installed a glass door. I was not hurt at all, but you know. Hi, welcome in, Potato. We're just recapping the stuff that was built in the previous streams. And I'm trying to remember as many tidbits of lore that I can drop, just in case any of them got muted because of me leaving the in-game music on during the first stream. Welcome in. We're having a couple. Yeah. Under the staircase, which, by the way, the staircase was curved. We can't do curved staircases, so it's angular here, but it would have gone from here and curved all the way around up against that wall, and then terminated with the steps facing this way. We're limited with the size of stairs, so. Yeah, under the stairs we had just storage with a bunch of crap in it. Moving up. This banister should be like a step lower than the rest of the hallway, but can't represent that. This wall should be over by like half of wall units, but can't do that either, so compromises. This is the game room. This used to have a bunk bed in it and a bunch of toys and stuff. And actually, this couch, the gray couch, was originally up against this wall when we first moved into the house. The bougie house, man. I had a big house growing up. It was very great. Yeah, so... yeah, this was originally the game room for the kids. As we got older, it became the game room for the dad. So this became his pool room. We don't have a pool table in the game, so I've represented it with just these tables here. He had some little bar tables with bar stools, TV, and this was his chair and stuff. And there's actually another thing that needs to go in here that I forgot about when I first built this. And that is a mini fridge. My dad had a mini fridge right there so that he could keep cold beers in his game room. Because of course he would. Yeah. This door accessed the first attic, which contained Christmas decorations, among a few other things. But Christmas decorations were the most notable because they were the only things that we ever regularly pulled in and out of this attic space. We kept them in colorful Tupperware containers. And there was exposed insulation foam if you went too far into there. So, yeah, I tended to stay close to the door. Yeah. Over here, we have my older siblings' bedroom. They had a bunch of rubber duckies and stuffed animals up on this shelf. More rubber duckies on top of the dresser. They had a desk here, which had a computer and drawing tablet. My older sibling is an artist, as is my younger sibling. They are both artists. Little alarm clock there. The beds in the kids' in this room and my room would have been twin beds, so they would have been a bit wider than the singles that we have in game, but not so wide as the double wide beds that we have in game. So I think these are the best representation of those. When we were really little, we would often have sleepovers in each other's rooms. Both of our beds had trundles that fold out underneath with a second mattress. We have a closet here, which has a box for something in here. It's not a breaker box, because that's in the garage, and I should put that in the garage. I pressed the ASP button. Copy and paste. Yeah, breaker box went like there. Yep. Yeah. And it wasn't the Wi-Fi router because that was also in the garage. So I don't know what this was, but it was something. It had switches on it and lights and things, and I don't know what it was because I didn't spend much time in here. Of course, it's not my closet. First attic, multiple disconnected attics is common in old houses that have gotten lots of additions. No, the house was built like that. The house was built for my parents. So they bought like a plot of land in a developing neighborhood, and their house was our house was one of the first houses built in that neighborhood. And so they were given like a choice of multiple different floor plans they could choose from as like a starting off point. And then they were able to make customizations to that. Like, so for example, the game room here originally did not overhang in the original floor plan. It was flush with the wall of the room beneath it. But my parents wanted a bit more room in here and in here. So they extended the game room to overhang out, and they also extended this room to go over the garage more. But as far as I know, this attic and the other attic both always existed. So yeah. More lore. Because we can't do the curved staircase, this banister is closer to these steps than it should be. But oh well. The height, these did not line up. The height on this edge of the banister is more like the height between here. But yeah, best I can work with. But I used to climb up this wall as a kid and like vault over the banister, and that was fun. I stopped doing it when I got big enough that I felt like it was probably not a good idea to put that much weight on the banister as I'm climbing over it. But good fun. I would also climb up the outside of the staircase, like climbing up here, like putting my feet in between there, holding onto the railing, and like climb up the outside all the way up to the top. That was fun. Never did that while my parents were watching, of course. They did not want me to do that. I knew that. Yeah, very dumb. Shouldn't have done it. But yeah, I never fell. That was fine. So, oh well. I don't think I mentioned that one in the previous streams. No. Here, I don't know how to tell you this, but I think you live in a Winchester Mystery Mansion. Yeah, a great house, lots of wacky spaces and stuff. So moving on, there was a little closet here, which you could not walk into. There were shelves going right up against the wall there, but I can't represent any of those shelves because in order to put the door in, this entire slot can't have anything inside of it. But the closet's only a single slot big. So yeah, can't do anything with that. But that was a closet. This is inaccessible dead space that, like, spatially must have existed within the house. I can't think of any way that this would have been filled in by other rooms, because this closet wasn't, like, shaped to fill up that space. This bathroom wasn't shaped to fill up that space, so there must have been dead space. I don't know. Yeah, this is my old bedroom before I moved into the first floor. So I used to have my bed in this corner, but then at some point as a kid, I got scared that Bloody Mary would come out of the mirror and attack me at night. So I asked my parents to move my bed to this corner, so that way I could see into the bathroom and know that there was nothing standing in there waiting to attack me. And there were little wooden airplanes hanging from the corners of the room as well. It's sort of an airplane motif. There were little silver airplanes on the ends of the curtain, too. My big desk used to be along this wall before the bed was moved. At that point, the desk was moved to, I think, this wall. I think they just swapped places. My dresser was always here. That never moved. There were some red shelves on this wall. Yeah. Have the bathroom sink. This should be a singular big mirror, but that's not an option in the game. This sink should be centered. That's not an option in the game. We had a closet in here with a Mac 2, Macintosh 2, what the name is. In there was my dad's old computer. He was an early Apple adopter. And then through here we have the shared end of the bathroom between these two bedrooms. So we have the toilet and the bathtub shower combo. Moving into here again, singular mirror, centered centered sink. Can't do that. Yeah, this is my little sister's bedroom. She had a closet here. I have no idea what was in that closet in terms of shelving and storage and stuff because I never went in there. I just know that there was a closet there. And I know it was bigger than this closet. And I'm assuming this closet was this shape because my closet was this shape. And I never paid too much attention to on the outside of the house looking at this particular corner of the building, so I don't actually know for certain that it was this shape, but I assume it must have been. Yeah. My little sister's room is where the bunk bed that was in here when I was little was moved into, because that became her bed. She would sleep on top, and she had a white like IKEA table down here where she kept her toys. Mostly Littlest Pet Shop was the big thing for her at the time. This house is built currently modeled after what the house looked like at the right before we started packing up to move out into a smaller house, because this house was very big. It took a lot of time to clean and like take care of, and so my parents wanted to downsize. And also my older sibling was getting ready to move out to stay at college campus. So they didn't. We already had a lot of guest space, so they felt like getting a smaller one. Yeah. I can't replicate in here was the fact that my little sister had a slide, because there was a slide attached to the bunk bed. So there was a ladder on this side and a slide on this side. I can't replicate that in the game, but it was really cool. And yeah. Yeah. Over here is the main. Press the button there. Over here is the main guest bedroom. So we have two more model boats built by my grandfather with the nameplates mixed up. There was a model of the Mayflower with no nameplate on it. There was a model of a wooden like military ship with cannons and stuff that had the Mayflower's nameplate on it. And then there was the nameplate from that military ship was on the model that I had in my room. I forget what the name of that ship was, but I know that it corresponded to the wooden battleship, whatever it was. Yeah, we had an elliptical in here, represented by this treadmill, because there is no elliptical. We had an old TV up here that I believe was not a flat screen, but we don't have a big non-flat screen that I can put on top of a dresser in the game. Big bed here. This was the biggest bed of the house. Bigger than the bed in the master bedroom. Very big. And I would occasionally sleep in here as a kid, just for the novelty of sleeping in a big bed. And then this closet was just more miscellaneous storage and stuff. And I believe we had costumes in here, like kids' costumes, like old, like for playing dress up and like Halloween and stuff as kids. Our costumes would be stored in this closet specifically, I believe. I feel that my house isn't as big, but there's currently 2 people living in a house that could probably house like 10, and dear God, trying to clean up Doctor is a specific task. Yeah. We had maids for quite a few years. We just hired a maid service. They would come around like once a month, or maybe less frequently than that. I don't remember how frequently the maids showed up. It was probably less than once a month. Maybe once every other. I don't know. Maybe it was once, I don't know. But yeah, they really helped out with cleaning. But of course, that costs money. And so my parents, that was another reason, is like if they moved into a smaller house, they wouldn't have to pay maids to clean up because they could handle it. Um, so yeah. Yeah, that's that. And I realized I skipped over the master bedroom. Before we get to the master bedroom, this little nook right here between the living room and the master bedroom, this was the timeout corner. As kids, whenever we needed to be put into timeout, this is where that was. And I, as a child, would play with the spring-loaded door stopper. You know, just go boing with it to entertain myself in timeout. And I would also attempt to climb up this archway. So I would, like, you know, press up against both sides of it and try to, like, shimmy up as high as I could. Never, actually, did I ever reach the top? I don't remember if I did. I might have. There's a very good chance I did at some point, but I don't remember if I did or did not. I don't know. But it was something to do while my parents weren't looking in the timeout corner. I wouldn't leave the timeout corner, of course, because if I was found outside the timeout corner during timeout, that was a big no-no. But if, you know, entertaining myself, if I was, like, climbing up these, I could get down onto the floor safely, fast enough that it wasn't a problem for me to get in trouble. Although I did sometimes get in trouble still for attempting to climb this. But, you know, actually, was there a closet? Is there a closet door here? There's all this empty space. That, as a child, and like as long as I lived in this house, this empty space bewildered me because there was no way to access this empty space, and I had no idea what was in there. Also reminds me that the water boiler, the water boiler was in here, right? I know that it was in here, but I don't remember where. I think it was up. I think it was, like, in this corner. Was the water boiler? That's not a boiler. I don't really know what would represent a water boiler well. Hmm. That would be good, but it's too, can't put it in there. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's right. Yeah, water boiler. I'd have to spend utilities and ductwork to the second floor? Probably. I don't know. But I never knew what was in there. And now I'm thinking, oh, there was a tiny closet right here. But fuck, that means I have to get rid of the archway because I can't have an archway and a doorway intersecting each other. But there was a closet here. I remember there was a closet here. It was a very shallow closet. Like, maybe half a tile deep, but there was a closet here, and now I have to build it, which means I have to get rid of the archway. Another archway that has to be destroyed because the game refuses to allow archways and doors to intersect when they physically do not block each other. But sure, pop off. Game. Also, I forgot to set the carpet in there to be the correct variety. Wait. What? It let me do that. It just let me do it. Why'd you let me do it here, but you can't let me do it, but you're not gonna let me do it over here? Or over here? I couldn't do it here. We have a door, and there was an archway here. But it wouldn't let me do that. But it'll let me do it over here? Why? Hold on. If I do that, And then I grab this exact archway. And I put it here. Can't intersect other objects. Rotate you around. Can't intersect other objects. What the hell? Oh, it's the door opposite of it, not the door to the side. It's the door opposite that it doesn't like. Right. Still lame that you can't have doors or archways directly opposite of each other, but whatever. Oh yeah, also, I still don't remember what's going on with this gap, because I remember the fridge being up against this wall, but that doesn't make sense because the fridge was definitely not in line with the side of this counter. So I don't know what's going on here in reality, but yeah. Yeah, maybe the wall was just flat here. Maybe it was just like that. I don't know. I don't remember. But I had to guess. That's probably the answer. It's the best thing I've got to guess. So yeah, we're just gonna turn this into another inaccessible space. Okay. Yeah. Whatever. Anyways. Yeah, I can't put shelves in there, but because it's a single tile, but whatever. Anyways. Master bedroom. Yeah, big windows. There were blinds on these windows, but I didn't put the blinds in or the curtains because the way the windows scale width-wise is weird, and the blinds won't be able to cover the whole thing, which would look weird, so didn't include them. My parents had a TV here. They had an old TV that in here. So instead of shelves here, there was an old TV, and then there was like doors that open and close on here to like cover it up. Yeah. They had some Lazy Susans here with fold-out footrests. They had an alarm clock. They can't put an alarm clock and their two lamps on at the same time. They had another little wooden chest with I think more blankets in there, but I don't know. Remember. Really into the master bathroom, not bedroom. This whole wall would have been mirrors. Can't do that, so we have separate ones. These sinks would have been like here and here. Can't do that, so they're closer to each other. They had a his and a hers. There was a bathtub here with jacuzzi jets. Very fancy. And a shower there. Bathroom here with a magazine rack here, but I can't add that because it interferes with the door. And here we have the closet, the master closet. We have laundry hamper here. This was my dad's side of the closet. This was my mom's side of the closet. Kept his belts here, his suit jackets and stuff here. They both kept their shoes at the back. Various other things on back walls. I don't really know exactly what they were. The old hunting shotgun was kept up on this top shelf up here. And yeah, all right. That is all of the little anecdotes and the full tour. Everything I can remember. So if there's anything else that I said during that first stream that got muted because of the music, it's gone. I'm not remembering it. Oh well. But I think I covered everything. So, yeah. With that out of the way, we're almost done with the house. We just have a little bit left to complete. That is the roof and the exterior, which of course includes the backyard and the pool. So let's get to work on those now, shall we? Yes. Alrighty. let's start with the roof. Now, the roof is a part of the house that I did not pay any attention to as a child. I did not look up at the roof of our house very frequently. So there's going to be a lot of guesswork involved here. Of course, I could look at like I could look at my house on like Google Street View and like Google Satellite View and see what the roof looked like probably, but that's not the spirit of it. So we're just gonna go off memory again, like everything else so far. Alright, so let's start with the easy bits, the bits that are super easy for me to remember. So, let's go here. That does not go into the building. Excellent. Perfect. Amazing. Yep. That covered there. Here, was it peaked or flat? It was flat. Yeah. Much like this. Did these wrap around and connect? No, I don't think so. Okay. Over here, there's another roof like that. Over here, most likely like this. Yeah. I have no idea what the roof on this section looked like. Small deer was a real gamer, never looked up. Indeed. Let's see, oh wait, there was a bit of roof here. Overhung this gap. I don't remember because I never walked around. I very rarely walked along this side of the house. I don't know. What? think this was like this. Probably. Maybe. Ooh, that's clipping. Ooh, it's clipping even without. Why? The rest of them aren't clipping. Why is that one clipping? Alright, well, guess we'll not have any overhang on that side there. Unfortunate. Oh well. There. Yeah. Was this roof built like that, or was it a corner? No, it was a corner, I think. Is that not even an option? I built a $10 P32 magazine. Cost $50 though. $10 P32? That's pretty cheap. Screaming deal. Well, speaking of P32 magazines, and the P32, some of my mail packages that were lost were found. It turns out they had been put in other people's mailboxes. So they all got put into like the package concierge, but they got put when putting in the apartment number, the delivery person typed someone else's number in instead of mine. For multiple different packages delivered by multiple different carriers on multiple different days, but you know, whatever, they all made the same mistake apparently. And so the apartments was like cleaning out the concierge for like old packages that had been just sitting in there without someone taking them for a while, and they're like going through and like looking over it to make sure they're in the right ones. And so a bunch of those packages got found and were given back to me. So I've gotten some goodies that I thought I was never going to see. So my Fiocchi 60 grain semi-jacketed hollow points arrived. I have now 200 rounds of the stuff. So that's great. I posted a picture of the packaging that's Sportsman's Guide, not to be confused with Sportsman's Warehouse. Sportsman's Warehouse, I have had nothing but good experiences from. Sportsman's Guide, a little more shaky. But Sportsman's Guide, so 100 rounds of 32 ACP is very small, so it's a very small cartridge. And they packed it in a box that is like 1 foot by 15 inches by 1 foot, with very little bubble wrap. And it's just, so basically just loose 100 round box of ammo in there. It was actually 2 50 round boxes taped together, and the tape that held it together ripped off the labels on the boxes. Yeah, hell yeah, surprise ammo. Yeah, and it was free because I already got my refund like a month ago because when I reported that I hadn't gotten the packages, the mail carriers like investigated, and they concluded the packages were completely lost and they had no idea where they were. So they didn't even know that they had delivered them here, just marked as they just put the wrong apartment number in. But apparently they didn't even know that. They thought that these packages had just vanished completely. So officially, these packages were never delivered. And so I was able to get a refund on all of them. Sportsman's Guide gave me the most hassle with the refund because they didn't refund the shipping initially. They just refunded the cost of the product, and then I contacted them like, hey, can I get the shipping refunded too? And they were like, oh yeah, sure, all right, fine, we'll do that too. But the like $2.50 I spent on package protection, that was not refunded. And if I hadn't paid the $2.50 for package protection, I would never have gotten a refund to begin with at any level. So yeah, Sportsman's Guide, not great experience with them. But other places were nice. South Georgia Ordnance, I think, was the place that was the second place that I tried to buy the Fiocchi ammo from. They were really responsive and very nice. Yeah, I got the ammo from them too. That was also misdelivered. My Keltec magazines, because I bought spare mags with P32. I got 2 of them. Keltec immediately resent me 2 more when I told them the package was lost. So now I have 4 spare magazines for my P32, 5 mags in total. 2 of them with +1 faceplate extensions from Total Innovative Tactical Solutions that I installed. So that's more mags than I'll probably ever need for the P32, being a little pocket pistol. So, you know, that's neat. And I also got my speed loader from magspeedloaders.com that I originally ordered from them. And apparently my original package from them included not just 1 speed loader, but 2. Because Richard, the guy who runs the business, included the exact unit that he used in the product demonstration video in my order. So apparently I was the first person, I think, to buy a P32 magazine speed loader from him. So now I have 3 of those, because he was also very nice and sent another one out when the package was lost. So yeah, now I've got 3 of them, and they're great speed loaders. But I don't think I'll need to load 3 mags at the same time. But I guess I have spares if it ever breaks, but I don't think it will. But you know, yeah. So that was fun. You know, always nice to get stuff. Keltec has great customer service, basically as good as Ruger. Yeah, I have been pretty impressed with them as well. Yeah. How do I get? No, that's to affect how curved it is. Basically, I need just 1 corner, not 2 corners. How do I do that? I'm up. Stems or roof with 1 corner. 2 stairs side of roofs along the edges, then drop a pyramid roof in the corner. That's... Sure, I guess I can do that. Annoying that that's the only way, but I guess that's what we'll do. Alright. I'm just gonna use one of these, though. Because I'm pretty sure the roof was not... It's not a full corner all the way over there, so... Alright, and then we'll just do that, because it terminates inside. Yeah. I think that's accurate. Oh, if you see surplus, check 32 ACP for cheap. Don't hesitate picking it up. It is good stuff. Keep that in mind. Probably good on 32 ACP for the moment, but having extra to spare for the future is never a bad thing. So we got those bits of the roof done. So now these bits of the roof. One, two, three, four. Three. Yeah. Three. Nice. And then in here is another bit where I never really looked up and paid attention. So I know that this corner existed on these walls. I don't know if this roof just continued over with an over. I don't think it did, no. So I think the roof came in, but I don't... Did the roof just come in just like that? 1, 2, 3. Like, was it just like that, or was there... Were these two blended into each other? I don't know. I don't know. But, I mean, this is a much simpler shape, so... Yeah, I think we'll leave that. And we'll just assume that that's... Yeah. Yeah. That's easy. Okay. Now, the top roof. This is the shape that I am most unsure of. Because, sure, when I'm in the backyard, lounging around by the pool, I can look up and I can see, yeah, the roof is shaped like this. But I'm not looking up here. That's not in my peripheral vision. Like these bits of the roof, I occasionally see in my peripheral vision walking by, but this part of the roof, no idea what that looks like. So we're gonna have to get a bit creative. All right, so starting here, I do know that this bit of the roof was shaped like this. Because coming into drive, I would see the top of this. Three. Okay, maybe not the top of it, but like, you know, I would see. All right, but like, I know that that's what that shape is. And the rest of this, less sure. this bit here. It's probably shaped like that. Then the rest of this, I don't know. Up here at the very front was shaped like that. Oh, I need this to be flat. Interior to be correct. Is that still considered an outside room? Because the attic isn't enclosed yet? There we go. Now it's enclosed. Okay. Yeah, let's get the lighting in here. There was a big chandelier right here. Which, actually, was it centered above this rug? Or was it centered in this room? It was centered in the room, not in the rug. Yeah. Ceiling decorations. No, lights. Lighting. Ceiling lamps. Chandelier, please. Big and fancy. Chandelier. Either one of these.
Good hunting!
Here for now for reference. Yeah, thank you for the follow, T1. Love your streams. Catch you live next time you stream. Thank you. See on Discord. Yeah, see, that's a little suspicious, though. You know, capping your comment off if that's a little suspicious. Also, your font is different. I don't know why, but that's throwing. Can you respond with another message? Just verify that you're a person. You know, just say something else. I don't know, it's opening with a Discord username as your first message. I don't know, it seems suspicious. But if you are a real person, welcome in. I hope you have a good one. Please do just say literally anything else in the chat to verify that you are a person. I'll give you some time. Alright. Okay. Neither of these are big enough. I think in terms of style, this one is closer. Although that color is not right, so let's... Yeah. Yeah, that's more like it. Okay. It's now... Boop. Hello. Hey.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, now how do I... How do I put it in the middle? On the second floor. I'm not suspicious. Yeah. Alright, I think if I make this a room, and then I delete the floor and these walls. No. Okay. So while the floor is still there, let's take this chandelier, put it here. Except we're gonna upscale you, because it was a big chandelier, and it did dangle quite a bit. Is that placement right? Yeah, I think that placement's right. Alright, now we remove these walls, and that stays floating. Yay! Yippee! We just need to repaint these walls. Alright. There were no other consequences. Perfect. Everything is good. Excelente. Alright. Lovely. We can now finally admire all of the first floor with correct lighting. Yay. That should not be so difficult to get, but you know. Right, took a bit. Get the roof on. Alright. Moving back up here. Let's continue with the roof. Now, I'm not actually sure. I don't think the walls were... Now, as far as this attic space was concerned, I don't know what shape the attic space this attic was. Because I didn't go into this one nearly as much as the other one. If at all. And, yeah. Yeah. No response. Very sad. But hey. Like 1 in a million chance you were a real person. There is an appeal process. And I will happily appeal you. And I will happily unban anyone who is banned for being a bot if they prove they're not a bot. By saying literally anything. Unfortunate, but such are the things that we must do. Alright. Anyways. Yeah, I have no idea what the shape of this attic is, or how big it should be, and all of that stuff. Is that... Yeah, that makes that exterior again. I just, like, do that. That gets rid of the ladder. Why make this really big? That gets rid of the ladder. So unless we have a full-on room, the ladder's going to be destroyed. What is the smallest space? That. So if I manage to conceal that within the roof... No, that destroys the ladder too. Okay, I think we're going to have to just ignore the attic. I don't think we can do... I don't think we can actually do the attic. That's a bit unfortunate. Oh well. Yeah, just because I don't think we'd be able to actually fit it. What is... The fact that these grids are floating up here bothers me, but there's nothing I can do. Hi, kitty. Meow. Okay. Anyways. Back to roofing. This roof sloped in that way. Let's see, I don't think there were any roofs on this building where, like, you had just an open end like this. I think it was all shingling going all the way around for all of them. So let's... One, two, three. Pop that in there. Nope, that just copies that. This, that just copies that. Okay. I'm gonna have to manually get the shapes. Camera height, like, slowly shifting like that is bothering me. But, oh well. Oh yeah, another fun story about the gutters on our house were white originally. And we have red brick for the walls. So my parents decided at some point to paint the gutters that go along, not the gutters going along the roof, those stayed white, but the gutters going as they went along the walls, like to go down to the floor, to the ground, to drain out. They painted those red to match the color of the walls, and the HOA was not happy about that. But we never changed the paint scheme, so I don't think it was actually ever that big of a deal. Our HOA was not that evil. Still, stupid that they got mad over that, but they weren't so turbo evil that we had to change them or pay a stupid big fine or anything like that. Downspout, yeah. One of them things. Kitty. Get back with her tail in my face. Meow. Now I have no idea what goes on in the middle of this room. Absolutely no clue how these shapes reconcile with each other, but they must have. Why does that bring the bottom and the top down? That's silly. Right, you know what, we're gonna remove you and replace you with an octagonal. Yes. Where's the... It's hiding from me. The angles are different. So that doesn't work. Yeah, no. Lucky. Ah, wait. I can do 2 roofs that intersect each other. In the same space. At the same angle. But this one overhangs in the bottom and the top one does not. There, that's how you do it. Yeah. Getting silly with it. Alright. Wait. Why are you... Why is it doing that? Oh. I see. Has to be a minimum length. Pause. There we go. Hi. Anyway, hope you're having a good one. I don't know what I'm doing with this roof, but I'm trying my best. Get it accurate. More wide. There we go. Yeah. Smooth that shape. This needs to be going the other way. You know what, let's... Why did that do something over there? I'm aiming over here. Why is it doing something all the way over there? There we go. Hip roof. Something like that, okay? I'm really working myself into corners here. let's place this with a hip roof as well. Mm-hmm. I feel like this is all wrong. Like, there's no way the roof actually looked like this, but like, especially this, that's not right. I can't. Correct. But I can't think of a way that it would look otherwise. So. Actually, because I do it like this. And there's no way this is correct. Aha! That solves that shape. Being weird. Okay, now use another hipped roof. It's just what blends the best. One, 2, 3. Consistent angles. That in there. Extend out to there. That just looks wrong. How else would it go? I mean, it's possible that these just continued up until there was a peak over here. I don't know how I would replicate that with the roofing systems that I have available to me. It's possible. You know what? We're just gonna... Yeah. We're just gonna shorten that one's angle. Okay. That's better with that. It creates this horribleness here, though. Don't know how to rectify that shape in the slightest. Chateau d'Ir. Yeah, big house. I feel like that's right, though. There we go. So how did this line up? See, this is where me not actually knowing what the shape of this part of the wall is kind of biting me. I don't even know if this is accurate within the context of, like, being the right shape for this area. Actually, that only lines up if it's like that. Then that doesn't line up there, which creates an awkward shape there. I think that's more in line than that. I mean, it's no guarantee that the lines all flowed perfectly smoothly. You know, there could be like bits like this, then where the water just pulls up there and then drips down the side there. You know, that's perfectly normal for roofs. This is not normal for a roof. This is horrible. I need to get rid of that somehow. But I don't know how. 'Cause that's a shape that these roofs are not intended to account for. I'm not sure what to do. Yeah, I don't think there's any way to do that without creating all sorts of other problems. So... Because this, like, from back here, that I'm confident about. This I'm not confident about at all. But I can't think of a way that it would work. I am tempted to go on Google Maps and just look at the roof of my old house, but not gonna do it. We're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it for now. Yeah. Let's get the walls. Wall patterns. We have brick for our house. Let's see here. There's no trim. That'll get in the way of things. Camera, stop fucking doing that. Just stay at one level. Oh god. See, the problem is we get stuff like this. We have trims of any sort. So we need to just not have trims of any sort. Smooth wall. Let's get a little more in the sunlight. Color-wise, that's pattern-wise, that's pretty perfect, except for the trim. They all have gross trim. Oh wait, nope, these ones don't. Okay. One of these then. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. I'm not painting anything on the inside. I know that that's a thing that the game would do. Yep. Mm-hmm. And we need to swap that back out again. Yep. Really wish the camera would just stay at a consistent height. Are there gutters? No. Unless there's gutters in here. No. Ooh. Chimney. We do have a chimney, because we did have a chimney, because we did have a fireplace. is just right there is where the chimney would go. Okay, is that there for now? Temporarily, let's see which of these styles is most likely. Now, I don't actually remember what our chimney looked like, but I know what the other the chimneys of the other houses in the neighborhood built by the same company that built our house looked like. So I can extrapolate because the houses, looked similar in terms of like styling. I can extrapolate that our chimney probably looked like their chimneys. So definitely had like a little conical roof thingy going on. Trying to remember. I didn't look at our neighbors' roofs very much either, but I'm trying to remember what did those look like. I know they had those. Was it brick? Was it was it flat color? What do they look like? I think they were brick. Make sure that's in the right spot. Yeah. Chimney must have passed up through this wall, like right here. So probably more like there. Alright. These don't adjust for height or anything, so we'll just leave it like that. Alright, cool. Nothing is getting painted internally. Okay, first floor. Second floor. Now, it's possible that uh, some of these walls had, like, trim. Or not trim, like, sliding. Yeah. It's possible that we had, like, beige sliding on some of these second-story walls. I just don't remember. So we're putting all brick in because I do remember the brick. I don't know. It's like like this. This was sliding, I think, actually. Yeah, that was sliding. Yeah. Um. hmm. Let's just default to brick, and then we'll paint over the rest of the sliding where I think it's supposed to be. Okay. So, a few cheeky spots. Yeah, nah, I'm just gonna leave that. I think this did blend in to these shapes instead of being a hard cut there, but I, I, I'm not gonna bother with that. All right. Was there sliding anywhere else? Hmm. 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 Can't have just been this one bit, right? Like I know that was sliding, but that's kind of the only part of the house that could be. Like, because like it has to be like an isolated spot. You don't. Whoops. I went to turn on my lamp and accidentally pushed an empty bowl off the back of my desk. That's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the sink. Alright, that's fine. Hmm. Uh, oh, you know something I should include? Decoration. Lighting. No, that's like not electric powered. Miss. No. Is there? There's no category for outdoor lighting specifically. Wall lights. Camera. Yeah. There were like some. We had like some outdoor lights here. One was angled to shine over the driveway. The other was angled to shine over this area here in the backyard. We had. Oh, there is an outdoor light section. I'm a fool. Okay. Let's see. Although actually, none of these are closer in style. So, yeah. We'll stick with that. Do I want to include the street lights? We had a street light in front of my house. Do I want to include that? Do we have one that matches it? No, we don't. We don't have one that matches the street lights that are outside the house. So, no, we won't. We did have some little lights out front. Uh, Did we have the... No. There were lights out front that attached to the wall and shone upwards. but these will probably just be the closest to get to those. But I don't remember where they were on the walls. Like at all. So I'm just not going to include them. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Oh, the pillars or pillar. I don't remember if there was one. Was there one pillar or two pillars? And how big were the pillars? They were brick pillars. I know that. Do we have a thick brick pillar as an option? None of these are brick colored. That might be the closest. I'll go ahead and place that temporarily. That might be close. Just because it's stone. Yes, one of these. Shame there's none that just has a brick texture. Yeah, holding up this. There's one, two pillars. It was either one in the middle or two, one there, one there. Two pillars. Okay. Let's see. Spacing wise. I think that's accurate. Yeah. Alright. Well, they might have been actually further in. No, I think that's about right. Which of these pillars do I go with? I think this one, just because the texture is more right. Interesting. Oh, max height. Alright. We didn't have, there wasn't like a different texture at the bottom. It was just all brick all the way up and down, but you know, jazz, stop, damn it. How long have the jazz not been going? Damn you, YouTube. Alright, well. Yeah. So. What did the ground look like here? It was stone pattern. I think this is the closest. Mhm. Yeah, before we continue painting, let's get the furniture in. More reliable. Outdoors. Alright, outdoor seating. We had... some seats. Some tables. We have tables like these. Seating wise, I think I might actually have to go to living room. Seat that looks more in line with what we had. Did have like full-on cushions on these seats. They were like outdoor, like weather-resistant cushions. You know, but they were cushions. Setaku couch. Oh. Interesting. That's the closest. Now, in terms of colors, I think that's closest. Yeah. There's more of a gray cushions. But, well, actually. Yeah, that's pretty perfect. Okay. That went there. We had chairs out here as well. And those were of this style, I think, yeah. Trying to remember what the layout was for these. It changed, the furniture layout out here changed quite a bit over the years. I don't remember if we had one or two of these chairs. And I don't remember where they were. One there. We had... Oh, wait a minute. Was the couch over here on this wall, or was it on this wall? It was either like this, or it was mirrored. And the couch was over here, and the chairs and the tables were over here. I think we had more than one of these, though. Yeah. We had an outdoor chest. Not identical, but similar to enough to these in terms of, like, it would be we'd have to represent it with one of these, but it was different in its construction and appearance. It wasn't a solid chest. It was like a wicker chest made of some outdoor proof material. And that was located along one of these walls. So we'll put that there. I think that's my best guess. I remember when I was really little, we had like a picnic table. Sort of deal. In here. Smaller. Yeah. Like there or there. Somewhere out here. But that was long gone by the time we moved out. That I don't think that was still around. Unless it was. Was it? Mighty need for a suppressed P-32. The only gunsmith I know of who has threaded a P-32 no longer does custom work. Ah, I hate that. Hate that, yeah. I wanted to get proper, like, actual pistol sights for my P-32. The only people who did that modification don't stop offering that service like a year or two ago. So that's unfortunate. I could probably find a one-off gunsmith who would do like it as a one-off, but there's no one that I know of that has experience doing that besides the one gunsmith that doesn't do it anymore. So that's unfortunate. Although, and it was already expensive from that person who offered it as like a standard service. Getting a gunsmith to do a custom one-off thing that they don't do regularly, I imagine, I haven't looked into it, but I imagine cost more, which I am not prepared to do. Okay. Yeah. Did we still have this at the end? I don't think so. No, we didn't. We got rid of that. Yeah. It was also like another table that had like a sandbox on it, but it wasn't sand. It was like that's like magic sand or whatever it's called. Like it's a sand like thing, but it like clumps to itself very easily. You don't have to get it wet. Just like sticks to itself. So you're able to sculpt stuff out of it very easily. That was a lot of fun to play around in when I was a tiny child. And you could also take the sand out and fill the bin with water. And there was like some drain on the bottom, and that was also like a little pool to like play around with like toy boats and stuff before we got the pool. The pool was not originally included with the house. We had like a little plastic kiddie pool that we would, like I said, out here, fill up with a garden hose. But we grew out of that, and my parents eventually wanted a pool that they could swim. There was a neighborhood pool, which we would go to, but my parents wanted a private pool. So we did get one, and we'll build that in a moment. But, yeah. Are there any umbrellas that don't have tables? Because we had umbrellas that just went into holes in the ground, not tables. Let's see. Umbrella. I mean, it had ours had straight up and down poles, so you could retract them. Maybe. No parasol. No parasol. I mean, I think that's the closest thing. So, I think we'll just go with that. There's a spot for... Oh, you can't have anything under the umbrella? Or is that because of the roof? I think it's because of the roof. Yeah. Yeah, it's because of the roof. Which makes sense. And then that one's because of this light. Yeah. There's one spot for those there. We had 2 umbrellas. There was another spot for one right here as well. But I think it'd be cooler to show the one that was in the pool, if I can do that. I'm just gonna set that aside for now. And no, that's not. I think so. I think it is. Yeah. Sites really are not too horrible, especially for its intended use. I'm considering plunging the silly Delta Point micro red dot on a P-32. That would be quite a sight. Suppressed and red dot equipped P-32. All you need is a flashlight. I also would really like a flashlight on the P-32. Sadly, no one has ever made a flashlight for the P-32. Which is really unfortunate. There's lasers for the P-32, and I bet you a TLR-6 could have fit just fine on a P-32, but there was never a TLR-6 made for the P-32. So, well. And of course, Kel-Tec's official solution for a flashlight for the P-32 is like a funky flashlight that you like hold, that you're supposed to hold in your offhand up against the grip of the P-32, and it's like shaped such that it'll be pointing forwards, but you can still wrap your hands around it. It's a weird thing. I don't have one of those. Part of me kind of wanted to get one, but I don't think I will. My little AAA battery flashlight that I keep in my pocket works just fine. Alright, let's do pool. Yeah, alright. Pool time. So, what are these options? Fountains. Shallow. Trimmed pools. Okay. I don't think we can do multi-level pools, which is unfortunate because we had a hot tub. Is a hot tub an item? Hot tub is an item. Oh, that's... That's not what our hot tub looked like. Our hot tub was hexagonal and also did not have a roof, which is the bigger problem. Damn. I'll put this bunch of easy. You can do an optics adapter plate that mounts to the firing pin retaining hole in the Gen 1 slide. Sights are hilariously bad on the Gen 1. Yeah, I know they got better on the Gen 2 at least. Also, something I don't hear anyone talk about is that there's some variation in Gen 2s depending on when it was manufactured. Kel-Tec has steadily made very minor tweaks to the Gen 2 P-32 over the years, which are most noticeable in the slide cuts and the geometry of the slide. Like if you compare the P-32 that is on Kel-Tec's website, like in all of their like promotional photos, to a P-32 that's manufactured today. So my P-32 was manufactured earlier this year. based on, as far as I can tell from like this serial number information and stuff. It was earlier this year or last year. So first of all, they changed very recently they changed the serial number, so it's not 5 digits anymore, it's 7. Yeah. And so I haven't actually been able to look it up. I could call them and ask probably, but I haven't been able to. I can't use like the online Caltech serial number lookups systems because they're all expecting 5 digits, and mine has 7 digits because that's what they've switched to recently. But yeah, so mine's a pretty recent production, and if you look at the slide geometry is different between them. There's a line on the frame that doesn't line up with the slide on the earlier Gen 2s, but on the more recent ones, those lines do line up, which is a fantastic improvement aesthetically. And they changed the slide serrations, so they're cut just a little bit different. There's a little bit more grippable slide serration on the right-hand side of the gun now than there was earlier. Interesting. Late into Gen 2 production, they finally made it so the trigger could be removed without destroying it. Oh, neat. I'm sure that was very helpful for them when they fixed my trigger. Yeah. Well, let's just get started with the points. So... Can you change the pool height? Oh. Okay. Ah, okay. What a... Okay, we can make it super deep. We cannot make a shallow end to the pool, though. That's unfortunate. Our pool has a shallow end over here. Then there's like some steps down here, and then it gradually gets deeper over to this end. Was also round. On that end. And so here, actually. So how do I... Well... How do I... Okay. This is gonna require some fidangling, it seems. Let's just draw this in. Okay, we'll focus on this end of the pool first. Alright. So now we can do this. Because we have no shallow end, we can't stick the umbrella in the pool. Aw. What happened to that umbrella? Just leave that one. Oh, actually, hold on. The fence goes here. My proportions are way off. Ah, really? Lame. I don't want them to connect. I want it to just be right up against it, but not connect, because that's... Ah. Boo. Lame. We had, like, there was, like, a little waterfall that would, like, go from the hot tub into the regular pool. It's cool. I can't have that because I can't put them right up next to each other. Stinky. Alright, well. You know that the Gen 1 side is 2 pieces? I think I knew that at some point, but I forgot about it until now. Okay. Well, that's as close as we're going to be able to get, I guess. Hmm. Which of these colors is closer? I think the darker one. Really? Okay, so now we have 2 problems with the hot tub. And I mean, this one at least is consistent with reality. Right, yeah, right. Well, I mean, that amount of space is actually empty. Can't change where these posts are, which is a little annoying because it insists that that's where it should be. Gate. Final rectangular. Gate is supposed to be the same height. These are all like half-height gates. I just did a door. Nope. That's not allowed. Just on a shorter fence. Are there any gates designed for these big ones? Yes. Massive gates. Ugh. And I can't put it up against there either. Although, to be fair, our gate was not actually up against there. It was like a single space out, so at least there's that. Yeah, there's no one tile wide, all wooden gate, which is very unfortunate. It's so ornate compared to what we had. We had literally like the cheapest looking wood gate for our fence that you could possibly imagine. It was like the cheapest you could get while still being a solid wall with no windows when closed. The bottom of the gate even had to be cut at like a weird angle because our driveway was angled, and so in order for it to not get stuck, the bottom of it was like it had to be cut at a weird angle. Yeah. All right, we're just gonna put that there though because that's the only gate we can put. Looking at this like that is just so... It's so bad. I would love for this to be like that, so it could be the correct shape. But no, that's not allowed. It's lame. A room with different height. Oh, half next. Just have next to each other. Should I just use this? No. I refuse. I'm gonna use this. Even though it looks weird and bad, I'm gonna use it. Because it's the closest thing to what actually had. We had big rock gym. Was it big? Was it small? Big ending. Yeah, no, that one's more big as well. Really don't like how angular edges are. I would like it to be more round. Should I just do a rectangle for this instead? Might be better at this point. No. It was round. I'm gonna try and keep it round. Okay. Nope, fountains cannot touch it. Damn. Oh. Raising a fountain raises the ground. We can't do that. Can I replace this with a fountain? I have to be shrunk down like that. that. Nah, this looks better. It's more accurate with the bordering on it. Okay. Cool. We have to extend out this area here. Mm-hmm. That's about the right shape and size. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Core. Wall lights. Make sure these are at the correct heights and are centered where they can be. Getting these ones to line up is going to be a little more tricky. Camera is... That helps. Okay, spacing's even almost. Okay, yep. There's no light here because that's where the shallow that's where the stairs were out of the shallow end, which we cannot replicate. Objects. No. It's just, these are just like jumping in things. Rock ladder. I mean, that's closer to stairs than a normal ladder, so sure. Shame we can't actually have stairs, but oh well. Let's see, we had one of these located where were these? There was one here. One here. This one placed on top of those. This one didn't. Weird. And one over here, I think. Maybe. Actually, no, I don't think there was one. Was there even a third? I think it was just two. Just regular pool water. Next. Water emitters. Did have some fountains. Things. We had like, there were like bits of stone that were like elevated up, little like rectangular plateaus. Like 3 of them along here. Each one had like a little fountain coming out of it. Not sure I'm able to replicate those, but yeah. So I can operations. Some fool. These are fountain only? Really? That's lame. Boo. No. Aim tools. Like links and stuff. Can't do that. Door. Combination. It's so annoying. You can't just place these anywhere. And I could put fish. Oh no, apparently I can't put fish. Because they can't point into a pool. Okay. Is there anything that I can put up to represent the founders, at the very least? Anything that is just like a little stone platform. A stone platform or something that matches the color of water. Rock. That's an option. It's a little more jagged than I'd like though, so let's keep looking. Just a bigger one of those. Still jagged. More jagged. Definitely not gonna work. Plus jagged, but way too wide. That's not gonna work. Something that's just like a beige box. This will work. I mean, maybe. Maybe not. I don't like that one. I don't like that solution. Okay. I think we're gonna be using this. But we're gonna downsize it and place it as close up as we can get. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 wide tiles, which does not divide evenly in any way. Okay. Alright, yeah. That's good. Yeah. I can't have the waterfall going on here either because I can't do water vendors. Oh well. Whatever. I know what these are. And you do too, because I've told you. Wow. Alright. Now, do we have a slide? No. Damn! Because we had a slide. We had a water slide. Not like it wasn't like a super crazy thing. You know, there wasn't like a ton of water coming out of it either. But you know, it's just like a little water slide that curved into here. You know, it was pretty cool. Sucks that we don't have a slide. There's no slides, really. I mean, that has a slide, but that's way more extravagant than anything we ever had. I'm surprised that there isn't just like a small slide. Like not necessarily a water slide, but you know, just a slide. You know? Like there's standalone monkey bars, but there's no standalone slide. It feels like an odd thing to omit. But oh well. I guess we can do a Mr. Jumpy as a stand-in for the slide. Yeah. That's close enough. just as reflection. Alright. Yeah. That's close enough. Do we have a closer color? Nah, that's close enough to the color of the slide. It was a little more desaturated than that, but otherwise pretty spot on. Hue wise. Okay. Wait. Perfect. Alright. Plants. Shrubs. This be better. No, it would not because it won't let me place it. Should continue this fence. We did have little trees. Much littler. Like between those two sizes. I'll go with this one, it's bigger. Alright, I'm gonna have to move these all out of the way temporarily while I place the trees. And I don't remember exactly how many of these there were, or what their spacing was like, but I remember that they looked like these. So, that's what we're getting. I guess these won't fit behind those, so we'll have to just do that. Ooh. They are flipping through, which I don't like. But if I push them so they're not flipping through, they're gonna be clipping into the tiles. So we'll leave them like that, and we'll just ignore this side of the fence. Yeah. Oh, this one can actually hold a bit more out of there. Yeah, we'll just we'll ignore this side of the fence, so it doesn't matter. We don't need to look at that side of the fence. I just remembered that this corner needs to not be a corner. Actually, it needs to be at an angle. And I never got rid of that test bit. There we go. Alright, let's get these all back in. bushes make for good spacing. Indicators. Trees. I wonder if I rotate you, is there a... yeah, okay. So if we point it like that. Hey, there we go. Okay. That's the way. Just rotate them like so. Oh, wait a minute. Their collisions are more announced like that, though. Outgoing diagonal. What is the narrowest side? Arrow pointing. Okay, yep, that's still... Hey, there we go. Much better. Alright. And actually, this one was bigger. These trees all died by the time we moved out. They were all dead. Very unfortunate. They were a type of tree. There was a fungal infection or something that the specific type of tree that we got in the backyard was had an outbreak of, and all of the trees of that type in the area were all dying because of that. Very unfortunate, but oh well. Okay, so that's those. No, more like here, yeah. But once again, that. And the tiling did not go all the way up to the fence on here. There was some grass still left exposed. So we're going to leave that gap. Alright. Is that right, or do I need to bring this in, actually? No, I think that's right. Yeah. Alrighty, and then this go all the way out. And then, was the fence here or here? I think it was here. Yeah. And once again, the gate. Player. Alright. And then back here, there was nothing. Yeah. There's some gravel. Around here? Somewhere. There's gravel somewhere. For a bit. Along here, or is it probably this? No, that's not right. It's not right because this wasn't here. It was here. There we go. think that's right. Yeah. Shame we can't do like a hard edge with these. Oh wait, we can. Alright. Cool. That's good. Let's can't have that intersecting any of that, huh? Very unfortunate. Oh. My playlist ended even though it's on repeat. Actually, no, the webpage just isn't responding. This Opera crashed on me. Yeah, it's just not responding. Uh-oh. My other window's responding. It's just, the one playing my jazz is not responding. I think it's just the one tab that crashed. That's odd. There we go. You want to reload it? All working. Sure, it's set to loop. Okay. How strange. Alright. That is the backyard. Alright. So we've got plenty of extra space over here. Interestingly, the front yard is not deep enough, actually. But this is correctly sized. We're right up against the edge. So that's a little unfortunate. I don't actually remember how the front was configured as much because I didn't go in the front as much. So I walked home from school and then I rode my bike home from school but I mostly rode my bike home from school instead of walking. There was like the time between my parents dropping me off at school in my the time like in terms of like times during my childhood, there was a very narrow point between my parents would always dropping me off and picking me up by a car to school, and when I started riding my bike to school. There's a narrow gap there where I just walked home. That was like a year or two where I just walked instead of riding a bike. Which isn't that narrow actually, but on those during that time I used the front door, but when I had the bike I would go to the back door instead of having to because we stored the bikes in the garage, so I would go around to the garage and I'd open the garage door, store my bike in there. I think that's what I did. Now I'm thinking about it, I'm second guessing myself. Yeah, no, that's what I did. Yeah, no, I didn't bring my bike through the whole house. or through the kitchen here. No, I just went straight into the garage. Yeah. Yeah, we had it was a keypad to open the garage from the outside. Actually, wait, no. Did I bring the bike in through the front? No, I did bring the bike in through the front. Sometimes. No. Most of the time, I went through the garage. Sometimes, I went in through the front. Yeah. Okay. That seems right. Let's, edges. We had those. Trees. We had some of them. What type of tree? We used to have a bigger tree back here. But, it died as well. Or it was chopped down when we had the pool installed. One or the other. I don't remember. I don't remember where it was back here. Actually, no, I think it was... Yeah, I think the tree was here. And it died, and it was replaced with one of these skinny trees. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what type of trees exactly we had out front, but I know there was a tree here that I could see through my window. There was a tree over here. They were not very big, these trees. No tree there. There's a tree about here. Rotate them differently. Yeah, we only have the 2 trees in the front lawn. No more. Okay. Now, let's see. There was a fence dividing our property and the neighbor's property. I'm not gonna build that fence. But where... Oops. How far away from that fence was the wall? 1 tile? 2 tiles? I think it was 1 tile. No. 2 tiles. Yeah. Alright, let's get the driveway in. Oh, that entire fence got removed. For no reason. We'd love to see it. Is there anything else tragically destroyed by me moving a house over? I sure hope not. That would suck. A lot. I don't think so. I think that would only affect things on the edges. So I think we're safe everywhere else. Yeah. Okay. Still. Whatever. Was the roof even like this? Or was it? Was this even like this? Or was it just a rectangle? It can't have been just. No, it had to be shaped. Oh yeah, roof trims. Forgot about those. Way too big. Yeah. Represent the gutters. Mm-hmm. And can I do... red... theme? Representing the vertical gutters. Shape. So there's one there. Just the height. Fairly, but you know. There was one. Here. Wow, that is a very unforgiving placement. Let's just shrink those. Mm-hmm. One there. One. This one was on this corner. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure there were more gutters. Here. I think there's one there as well. There was probably one somewhere else along here as well. But, like maybe one around here, but I don't know. I never saw it. But yeah, I think that's all of the gutters that I know of. Was there one here? There might have been. There might have been more gutters and stuff. I don't know. But I think that's best that I can recall. Alright. Now... sidewalk slabs. We... I do... I'm gonna have to make walls. Size? Okay. I think I need these to be encased. There we go. I'd continue the triangles along if I could, but that'll be the best we can do. Woo! Woo! There we go. Actually, let's these. Oh yeah, that's much better. Nice one, thank you. Alright. And this would have been on a hill, but we can't represent that, so. Actually, you know what? I should actually. Right? Change the color. Ooh. Those are the only colors available for these? Damn. Fortunate. Wrong shape of car. It's an SUV. We'll do black, even though it was silver. Sure. Alright, that's the correct size. Bonk. There we go. That is my car. And I parked on this perilous bit of driveway that like this edge of the driveway was like a good like 15 inches off the ground, because the ground here and the ground here were two different heights, and it was like flat and then whoop. So the whole driveway was built on a ramp, and my car, while parking, so I had to drive up and like come in at a curve into this side spot so that I wasn't blocking my parents getting out here. But one time when I was pulling up on here, I pulled up too close and my car fell off the side and hit the neighbor's fence. The fence completely undamaged, but the front end of my car was roughed up quite a bit. No real damage. Headlights were all fine and everything. It was just body damage. Very superficial, you know. Its alignment was fine. Tires, wheels were fine. You know, all the important bits were fine. But yeah, that was the most damage to a car I was driving that has ever happened. so far in my life. And, hopefully it stays that way. Yeah. We might as well include that car. Okay. So with that, we have the final floor size. For my childhood house. It is complete. Unless I can find there was like a gas line pipe here. I don't know. They have like a gas pipe comes out of the ground, goes back under the ground. That I can place here. Then I'll do that. Yes. Pipe. Oh. Oh, we actually have drain pipes. Huh. Are they available in red? Nope. So I can't use them anyways, because they're not available in the right color. Alright. Cat. Meow. Hi, babe. Where is Cat Hat? Where did I put that in here? It's not with the other hat elements. There we go. There's a cat on my head. Meow meow. Plumbing? Oh. You'd think something called plumbing would have a bit of pipe. Oop. Little pipe. Alright. Well. We'll just use a green bollard, because that's close enough and effectively what these were, as far as I was concerned. Pretend that they're connected in the middle and there's like a little gas gauge on them. Yeah, so I couldn't just pull up straight through here because this is where these were, so you had to drive around them to get into the parking spot. Also, again, the ground was lower than the ramp. So. Although back here it wasn't as severe as it was up there, but still. Yeah. Alright. With that, we have, is there a lawnmower? No. Mow. No. Okay. No lawnmower. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. So how small of a plot is actually needed to fit this thing? Let's have a look and see. $18.45. 2005. Divided by 60 is not real. Oh, it's because it's just a tree. Okay. Let's just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. So it's a 34 tile wide plot. Can I move it? Items 4. Can you move a house to a different sized lot? Yes, you can move different sized lots. A larger lot is straightforward, but moving to a small lot is possible, but requires you to trim down any place. Yeah, I know that's not a problem. Library, go into build mode. Current house. Move house mode, go move to a new lot. Place lot. Okay. Straightforward enough. It's not going to be any 34 wide exactly, so we'll probably have to just do a 35 wide lot. But yeah. I do realize I forgot something here. So let's go ahead and get the floor here done, actually. What's the floor here? I think it was just concrete slab. We had a rug. Room. Rug. Not really a rug. It was a thing on the ground that you could it's like a lattice sort of thing. It was like empty. It's not a rug, but visually that's kind of the closest thing to it. So let's just shoot that down. There we go. Okay. And then we do have to do the pathway. That was here, which was also just these sidewalk slabs. Yeah. Real life, probably be like 1.5 wide, like exact same width as the door, but we can't do that. I guess I could do these. Problem is none of these line up perfectly with with this texture. Wish that we could just paint this texture. That would be very nice. Or that there were at the very least color options for these. Get closer. Oh well. Yeah. Where are there outdoor lights? Along the pathway. No, there were. Yeah. No, there were. Are they right next to each other, or are they offset? I think they're right next to each other. Where are they? Did we have those? I think we had those. Yeah. We had more mushes and stuff along these as well. Mhm. Yeah. I think. Yeah. Yep. Our mailbox was all the way down there. 'Cause it was, like every other house along the row had their mailboxes next to each other. So our neighbor's mailbox was right here next to ours. That way, the mail person could stop right here and deliver mail to both of our houses instead of having to stop in front of ours to drop off ours, and in front of theirs to drop off theirs. You know, so have the number of potential stops. Yeah. I think that is the whole house. All right. Excellent. Mhm. There might have been some more exterior lights out here, but I don't remember them. I only remember these ones and the ones inside the pool. So, yeah. Actually, is there... Pool objects. Is there bubbles? Bubble crack. 16 gate. Damn. Oh, I mean, yeah. Yeah, okay. The hot tub's not going to be usable. That's fine. Whoops. Accidentally pressing the move everything button. Alright, there we go. That is the house done. Now we can save it. Yes. So let's go ahead and we're not gonna rename the lot. So let's no, hold on. How do I save this? No, save the lot. Save lot. Okay, so it's a 40 by 30 5, I guess. Bedrooms and bathrooms. Let's count them. So, bathrooms first. We have... It's one or two, but that's one because only... Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bathrooms. Bedrooms. 1, 2, 3, 4, technically 5, 6. Alright, 6 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms. Alright. Oh. It's the drop down. 6 and 6. Yeesh. Okay. Let's just Good house. Hmm. Alright. This isn't gonna rename the actual lot, I don't think. I mean, I guess I should just call it my childhood house, huh? Alright, cool. So, yeah. Yeah, that didn't change that. Okay, cool. Well, that's kind of all that I had planned for today. So, yeah. Didn't really have anything else penned for today. And it's interesting, the house is longer than it is wide. I guess there are lots that are that sort of proportion. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I could do with a bit longer if I like. One more tile long, honestly, would be perfect. Yeah. But that's not gonna happen. So yeah. I guess a 40 by 35 size lot is what would fit this house perfectly. So, yeah. With the 35 being at the front, not the sides. That's the house. I would do a final tour, but we kind of opened up with a tour. And we didn't change any of the interior all that much after that, so... I don't think there's much of a reason to do another tour now. Kind of just be retreading what we opened with. I should have saved that for the end of the stream, huh? Oh well. Yeah, this is my childhood house. I don't know. Maybe I'll build the house we moved into after this next or something. I don't know. I'm not sure what we'll do. We'll come back to the building stuff in The Sims 4 or not. Yeah. I think we'll call it there for the night, though. You know, bit of a shorter stream, cap things off. Yeah, alright. Lovely. Thought that was a miscolored wall, but no, it's just the lighting being a little weird there. Yeah. Alright. Still not happy with this little bit of the roof, but you know, whatever. Manchester Mansion complete, yeah. It really was a pretty big house. You know. And I would love to live in a house like this again in the future. I don't think that's ever going to happen, though. The cost of a property like this these days would be just insane. I don't think I'm ever gonna have that much money in my life, which is rather sad, but you know, whatever. If I did have that money, I'm not spending it all on a giant house. I'd get a small house and spend the rest on guns. But, yeah. Very nice house. Mm-hmm. Alright, well, let's go ahead and find someone to raid. So, do. Raid message. Boop. Alright. Let's see who is live. Raid time. Yippee! Who can we raid? Let me have a look. Doot, 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 doot. Doot, 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 doot. Boom, boom. Mm-hmm. Saber. We should raid a zombie pie. Don't get to raid him too often. Old friend of the channel. So yeah, we'll head on over there. Alright. Thank you all again for tuning in. I will see you all in the next stream, which will be either Wednesday or Thursday for more Kerbal Space Program. I'm not sure which of those 2 days it will be, but it will be one of them. Probably at 6:30 or 7 p.m. Yeah. Bye-bye! Have a good night! Night, waifu. Night, Patpa. Good night. Bye-bye-bye. Bye-bye. Good night. Bye-bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye-bye. Good night. Bye. Good night. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye. Good night. Bye-bye.